change of scenery here. I'm leading the call instead of Robin. She wasn't feeling great tonight, so I decided to step in. So I know it won't be as entertaining, I'm sure, but here I am. Okay, so I'm going to keep this brief and hopefully you guys can get some good takeaways. So this week, first of all, I'm going to start with, does anybody have any questions before I get going? Anybody have anything they want to talk about before I get going here? Concerns, questions? Okay, awesome. I just want everyone to make sure they have themselves muted, if you don't mind. I'm going to try to mute everybody here. Okay. All right, so as you're popping on, just mute yourself, guys. Okay, so someone actually reached out to me this week, and she was feeling really sort of, I don't know, like frustrated, I guess is the word, because she was getting a ton of money objections. So does anyone here ever get money objections? Or does that just like never happen to you guys? Oh, it happens, it happens. Okay, so I thought I would give you how I handle them. Like my secret, I guess, is how I handle money objections. So I really hardly ever get money objections because I don't handle money objections. I do not object to money objections. I don't retaliate. I don't rebuttal. I literally don't ever have to go to that point because I have a really strategic way of handling my conversations, which means I don't give a price unless I feel 99.5% positive that the person is actually going to purchase. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. I don't actually do anything about money objections. If someone has, like, I don't do that, well, like try and make them, I don't try and convince anyone, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't feel like that serves any purpose. First of all, sometimes people just actually aren't ready. They're just not ready. And why do you want to convince them to purchase something if they're not ready? Because they're not going to get results. And guess whose fault that's going to be? Yours. It's never their fault. It's never their fault that they didn't lose the 20 pounds. It's always ours, right? And it's a lot to do with mindset. So someone has to be ready. So I have a very strategic way of how I handle my conversations. And this is how I know if I'm ready to give someone the price. So I would never, ever send out a share a cart link unless I am like 99.9%. A couple people have pulled the wool over my eyes for sure, but I am pretty much 99.9% sure that this person is purchasing. I don't just hand out pricing and pictures of challenge packs and stuff like that until I have gone through this whole system. So get your pens out, get your papers out, write this stuff down because it's really foolproof, and it's called the sales ladder. And it's called the sales ladder to get as many yeses as you possibly can. So this is kind of woo-woo, kind of mindset, but we always want our people to be thinking in the affirmative. We always want people to be thinking positive. We always want them to be saying yes to us. So that is always my goal is to get people to be saying yes to me. Yes, yes, yes. So this is how I start my conversation. So maybe someone's answered a poll. Maybe they've reached out to me. Maybe they've commented on my post, right? They've messaged me. I'm not a hey girl person. I do not go randomly messaging people asking them to join my groups, okay? I don't know, maybe your coach tells you to do that. You do you. Like if you feel good about that, go for it. That has never been how I've run my business. I have always built my business on attraction marketing. So I spend a lot of time in stories. I spend a lot of time on my posts. If people like my stuff or they comment on my stuff, I definitely chat with them. I engage with them, but I am not the type of person that just randomly messages people. I really have never done that. And I've been like really successful not doing it. So I don't just like reach out to anyone, because that to me is just, you know what, that never feels good to me. It works for some people. There's lots of very successful coaches in the network that, you know, they see 25 or 200 people watching their stories and they literally invite all 200. If that's your jam, go for it. It's not mine. So when I am starting a conversation, I actually know someone is interested in what I'm doing. Okay, they've either asked a question, they've answered a poll, they've commented on my post. So we know that they're actually interested. Because I think sometimes we have a lot of conversations going on that we kind of think they're interested, but when I go and look at the conversation, it's very clear this person was not interested. She was never interested. She never messaged you. So let's just be clear about that this is how this process starts. We know the person is somewhat interested in what we have to offer. So the first question that I ask them is, tell me about yourself. I really want to hear about you. I want to hear about what you're struggling with. Why did you reach out to me? What concerns do you have with what's going on right now? You want to find their pain points. You want to hear what they're struggling with. You want to hear what challenges they have. So an example, a couple nights ago, I wrote a post about a person feeling gross about how they looked in the mirror, their pants not fitting, like all the stuff, right? All the stuff that I felt in my life, I know that my perfect customer is feeling the same thing. I had a lady reach out to me saying, oh my gosh, I thought you were writing exactly to me. I thought you were writing specifically to me. That's exactly how I feel. So what I said back to her was, I totally understand. I get how you're feeling. So tell me about it. What's going on right now? What are your struggles? Are you having challenges with portion control? Is it that you don't have time? So I even sometimes give them some probing questions, like, what is it what's happening? Are you an emotional eater? Whatever you can think of. Sometimes people will write you a novel right away, like, what are your challenges? And they just like give you everything. And other people sometimes give you like 1 or 2 words. But I do not stop asking that question until I have 2 to 3 pain points. What I mean by pain points is I have 2 to 3 things that are challenging this person. So now they've said to me, yeah, I'm just going to keep using this lady. I just had a baby. I have 2 kids at home. I have no time to exercise. I cannot for the life of me figure out portion control, and my sweet cravings are over the top. Like, I can't control this. I write those things down, or I really do. I write those things down. Okay, Nicole, those are her 3 things. And this is so simple. This is what I say back or write back. Okay, Nicole, that's so great. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I just want to make sure that I heard you correctly. You said that it's just so busy right now because your 3 little babies are just taking up so much time. I can understand that would be really hard. You're also really, really struggling with portion control, and those sweet cravings are over the top, right? Did I hear you right? What's she going to say back to me? Yes. Like, I just repeated what she said. If she says no, we got a problem. Because I will say, okay, we need to scroll back because you just changed your story. Like, everybody says yes. Everybody says yes because she just told me that. I don't have to pull things out of the air. I don't have to do anything magic. I just have to say that right back to her, and she says yes. And I'm like, okay, great. This is awesome because I know that I have struggled with a couple of those things as well, and I've overcome them with what I can help you with. But before we get there, I want to ask you another question. Is that okay? Yes. What would you love to see happen in the next couple months? If I could wave a magic wand, what would you like to achieve with your health and fitness? Or what goals would you like to have accomplished in the next couple months? If everything was perfect and I could help you, what would you like to achieve? Let them answer. Don't say anything more. Let them answer and let them tell you what their goals are. So again, I write down, okay, Nicole would like to figure out how to get 30 minutes of workouts in a day with these 3 hoodlums running around her. And she'd also like to lose 10, 20 pounds would be amazing in the next couple months. She tells you that, and you're like, oh, that's so great. Thank you so much for sharing with me. I love hearing about people's goals. Now, I just want to make sure that I heard you correctly. You would love in the next couple of months for me to be able to help you lose 10 to 20 pounds and figure out how you could fit in 20 to 30 minutes of exercise, even though you have these 3 little babies running around, right? Right. Oh, what's she gonna say? Oh, yes, she just told me that like 2 minutes ago. She's going to say yes. She's going to continue to say yes. So this is where you have to make a judgment call. You have to decide, is this all? Is she being open and honest with you? Has she told you everything? And this is where you have to dig into this conversation and not move too fast, and you have to really make sure you've dug deep. Because at this point you have to say, as long as you feel like you can honestly help this person. And this is where you have to get into your own energy, and you have to figure out, am I just trying to get Success Club points and commission, or can I actually help this person? There are times when I feel like, I don't feel like this person is ready. She's not actually telling me everything. I don't think I'm going to be able to help her yet. She's not ready. And if I feel like that, I go back to the first question. I do not give anyone any information about how I can help them or how much it costs until I have asked so many questions and got so many yeses and feel so comfortable that I can actually help them. Because you guys, when you feel so confident that you can help someone with our stuff, you are not nervous to say the price. The only reason you get price objections, or 95% of the time, is because of your delivery. You are not confident with the price. You're like, oh, well, Shakeology is $129.95, but you don't have to get the next bag. Like, if you talk like that, never is anyone ever going to order it. They are never going to think that you know what you're doing. They are going to think you're scared. So you have to be really confident that you can help them. And that means you need to keep digging. So if I have to go back and say, you know, Nicole, I'm sensing a little bit of fear. Have you tried this before and it hasn't worked? Because I totally get that. Like, that was me too. You really want to make sure. So if I feel completely comfortable that I can help her, like I know in my soul that 2B Mindset is going to help that girl, that is when I go in, usually with a voice message. And I will say, I am so excited because I know that my program is 100% going to get you to those goals. I cannot wait to help you lose 20 pounds. This program is going to give you so much clarity on emotional eating. That's what it did for me. We are going to curb those sugar cravings with Shakeology. This is because it's going to all of a sudden make sure you're getting all your nutrients every single day. It killed my cravings. It's going to do the same for you. And you know what? You actually don't need to you don't even have to exercise if you don't want to. That, you know, if you just want to work on your nutrition with 2B Mindset right now, that's fine. And this is just this particular situation, which is true, you guys. Like, you don't have to have them doing everything. Like if you have a person that you don't think is ready for anything but just adding Shakeology to their life, don't pressure them into everything. You've got to get into each customer and get to know them. I know it takes time. It takes more time. It takes getting to know people. It takes learning the art of asking a lot of questions, but more important than that, it's learning how to listen. Really listen. Ask super simple questions and get their answers. Get them talking. If you go back in your messages and you see your message is like 17 sentences and theirs is 2, that's not right. Yours should be 2, theirs should be 17. Yours should be 2, theirs should be 17. That's really how the flow should go. You need to listen more. And then you just repeat back to them. If you're asking the right questions, those are honestly the 2 questions I ask. Like obviously the conversation gets flowing in between, but those are the 2 questions I ask every single time. And then if I feel super confident that I can help them with what I have, I ask if I can send a video. And I show them a short 2 to 3 minute video. Or sometimes it's just enough for me to give a voice message back saying, I know you are going to love this. This is going to be amazing. This is why this is going to work for you. So whatever program is your thing, whatever your program is, that's probably the one you're going to be most confident in. Mine is To Be Mindset. It's changed everything for me. So that's who my crowd is. So I talk to people that are going to be interested in To Be Mindset. I very, very rarely would have someone that I would talk to about Ultimate Portion Fix. That is not my jam. I hate those containers. I hate autumn. Like, ugh. So that's not who I attract. I talk to my people. So by the time I get to the money, they are already sold. I am so excited on that voice message because I know with so much clarity in my heart that I can help them. They feel it in my voice message. And I talk like this, like, oh, if you've got a voice message from me ever, that's how I talk because I'm excited. I want to help them. I know what it feels like to look at the mirror and hate the way you look. So I want to help them. So that's how I come back to them. And truthfully, like, gosh, 9 times out of 10, they're like, I'm in. I want to do this. I'm so ready to do this. If they're not, so if they say to me, I have to go check with my husband, I say, oh my gosh, totally understand. You go do that. I'm always here. That's it. That's it. I have done my piece. Me arguing with her about the price or going back and forth and trying to tell her how she might be able to save money to get, like, that makes us look so desperate. That is not what I do. I go look for the next person that I want to talk to. Honestly, you guys, every no that I've ever got has always turned into a yes eventually. Don't worry about the no's. If you have taken the time on the front end, you can leave that conversation and feel so confident that you have given them everything, that you have honestly given them everything. They know the value. They know that you can help them, and they will continue watching you. You just have to trust the universe on that one. Because arguing with someone over the money is wasting your valuable business building time that you should be going and finding new people to talk to. This is the #1 problem with coaches. You've got these 5 people's name on a list that you are bound and bent that they're going to be a coach or they're going to be your next Success Club point. Move the frig on. Go find new people. Find out who you are talking to. Find out who can you really help? Who do you really want to help? and start talking to them in your posts. That is called attraction marketing. If you guys are trying to talk to everybody, you're talking to no one. You are getting lost in the sea of all the other Beachbody coaches. Successful Beachbody coaches have decided on their niche. My niche, emotional eaters and women that want to level the F up and make money. That is who I talk to. If you look at my posts, you can tell that's exactly who I'm talking to. Nobody else. I love my daughter, but I don't want to talk to new moms about what it's like to breastfeed and try and work out at the same time. That is not my deal. I never breastfed. I never gave birth to a kid. Like, that's not my niche. It doesn't mean that I don't get new moms that join me, but that's not who I talk to, because that's not my person. My person is a working, busy woman that can't get her shit together in the kitchen, that's constantly binge eating. You know, every other part of her life is on track. She makes good money. She has a good job. She always looks great, but she's always in the pantry after everyone is in bed. That's my woman. And you know what? I have so many of those women. When I write to her in my posts, that's when I get the messages that say, oh my gosh, like, how did you know that I was in the pantry last night? How did you know? That's called attraction marketing. That's when you will never, ever, ever have to do hey girl messages or message everybody that's watching your stories. You talk to that person. I know my woman, she needs help up here. She knows how to follow a plan. She's smart, but she needs help up here. She needs mindset work. So that's why To Be Mindset is my program. So that's who I talk to. So figuring out who you need to talk to, who you want to talk to, who is like your perfect ideal customer right now, write to her. Always talk to her. And then use that sales ladder. Just always get yeses. Ask questions that is going to prompt that person to be telling you the challenges that she's having. So you can actually say, well, that's great. I get sweet cravings. I can help you with that. Like, that's no problem. We have Shakeology for that. I know how to fix that. Or I don't have time to go to the gym. Well, perfect. You don't need to go to the gym. I can help you with that. You want to figure out their challenges, struggles, what's stopping you, what's holding you back. Those are all buzzwords. You should all be writing them down. What are your struggles? What are your challenges? What's holding you back? Why haven't you lost the 20 pounds yet? Why haven't you got to the goals yet? What are you scared of? What have you done before that hasn't worked? You want to find and dig and dig and dig. And then you want to take them to their dream. You want to take them to figure out what in the ideal world would be happening for them. What could you help them find? And this can all translate to coaching as well, right? Like right now we're specifically talking about programs, but you can do a coaching post and have this exact same thing happen. Why did someone click your poll about coaching? What are they struggling with? What's happening at home? Why are they curious about what you do? If you could help them with the coaching online business, what would happen? What would life look like for them in 2 to 3 months? And then you can actually say, well, you know what? I can make that happen for you. That's what our team does. I'm going to help you with that. So this whole sales ladder can be used in any type of conversation. Am I making sense? Kind of? Okay, I got to go to the chat. I love the idea of attraction marketing instead of doesn't feel good to me either. Okay, so if it feels gross, it's gross. That is like, I will go to my grave saying, if it feels gross, don't do it. When someone told me to do that, I said, yeah, no, I am not doing that. That just feels disgusting. So no, thank you. Guys, this is your business. And you know what? If those messages feel okay to you, if you have figured out a way to do them that feel okay, no judgment here. I just have never figured out a way that it feels right. But you know what I will do every single day? I'll wish everybody on my birthday list a happy birthday. I have no trouble doing that. Even if I have no clue who the hell they are, I make it a joke. I'm like, hey, Facebook always tells me whose birthday it is, and I love getting birthday messages. So thought I'd say happy birthday. I get so many responses back and conversations start because of that. That feels totally fine to me. And some of you might be like, that is so ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? Like, you earn all this money and you're still sending out random birthday messages. But I do it every day. It's the first thing I do when I sit down to my desk. So do what feels good. You are going to hear so many rules and ideas, and you should be doing this and you should be doing that as you grow this business. You just listen to your own heart. You know what your intuition says. You know what you would like. When I get those messages in my inbox, you know what I do? Delete, unfriend. No, I do not want to buy the firming cream. No, thank you. So I know how I feel about those messages, so I don't want to send them. So just do what you do. What if I don't have a lot of interest on my post yet or answering polls? Sometimes neither do I. Like, you guys, if you actually go to my page, there's lots of posts that have like 5 likes. And if you go check the last name, it's like my family. You know what? That happens to me. Sometimes I'm the only one that answers my poll. Or my husband. It really pisses me off when it's him. Because I know I always answer it. And then I see that there's like a 50-50. I'm like, yes, finally someone. And it's Terry. I'm like, cheers. So guys, don't let that stop you. Just keep trying stuff. Because then the next time you do one, you'll have like 30 people answer it. And that's when you have to write down, okay, what did I talk about there? When that happens to me, I know that when I have a great poll or a great post, I take that up here and I'm like, I got to do more of that. I was clearly talking to my audience. I was talking to my people because it resonated with them. They could tell I was telling the truth. They could tell I was passionate. My post on Sunday night, I wrote it like in 5 minutes on the way home from a cottage when I hadn't had Wi-Fi all weekend. And that post got messages in my inbox. And you know why? Because it was from my heart. I was actually talking like me. I was talking about the struggles I have in front of the mirror still. I was talking about how it feels to not feel totally comfortable in your body. And that resonated with my crowd. So that is really key, you guys, for attraction marketing. You really have to know and decide who you want to talk to, who you want to help. It's the most important thing. It's the difference between success and not. If you're not seeing much success, you're probably trying to talk to everybody. And I get that mindset. You're like, oh, I have to talk to everybody so I can help everybody. Like immediately I was like, no men, there's never going to be a male in my challenge group. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. No, I will send you to another coach. I didn't like cutting men's hair. I don't want to help men lose weight. Like it wasn't my thing. So, no offense, but no. So I decided that early on. And then I just like the word niche, you'll hear it a lot, but what it means is just really discovering who you want to help. And like writing it out, like really figuring out like, who's the type of person I love to work with? Who would I really like to help? You know, for me, it's like people that want to do it. I don't want to drag people along. In my challenge group, there's no strategy. There's no meal plans. There's very rarely a recipe because I hate cooking. I hate meal plans. I hate being organized. I hate strategy. So why would I teach that? They can get all of that in the program. I teach mindset. I'm the woo-woo, like giving them meditations and telling them to like mirror talk, but they love me. That's my girl. That like they need that because that was something I didn't have and I needed it. It was something I didn't have in my life, or I didn't let myself have it. So now I do it all the time. It's the thing that kind of got me over the edge. So that's what my people get. And I repel people that don't like it. Cool. Goodbye. See you later. I didn't want you in my group anyways. And that's like the mindset you have to have. Why would I want someone that doesn't really like me talking about Louise Hay and affirmations in my group? I'm not going to be able to help her. So this takes time. You know, it takes time, but sitting down with a piece of paper and a pen and really just thinking about it, giving yourself half an hour to really think about, like, who do you love to help? I'm looking at Tabitha. She's a runner. She loves like PIO. She has a daughter. Just think about things that you love and people that you love hanging around with. What are their characteristics? You know, your favorite people, those characteristics, and start talking to them in your posts. Don't worry. It's not going to lessen your attraction. You're still going to, like, somehow I attract like these young, beautiful 20-somethings. I don't know why. Something in my posts attracts them. So it's not like I'm only attracting like 44-year-old women that hate cooking, because that's what I talk about. You still will attract lots of people, but narrowing down who you are talking to really will up your success. Okay, Julia doesn't like cold messaging either. Oh my God, all the other coaches who aren't here are going to be killing me. But anyways, it's my truth. It is my truth. I won't say that there haven't been times that I've done it, right? Like, we've all got on like a team binge of hey girl messaging, like, but it just never felt right. And you know what? It was busy work. You know, that success tracker, I fill it out every single day. I think it's important, but I think it's important to fill it out with genuine stuff. Hey girling 55 people is not genuine, because when I went back into my inbox, there were all of my messages and none of them returned. So what did that make me feel? Okay, so in the moment, I felt really busy and really accomplished, and I got to check off some stuff, but nothing happened. So for me, it makes more sense to work on my attraction, to work on my content creation. So work on my posts and figuring out who I want to talk to and why would I share this recipe. Like, I shared yesterday a can of tuna. Guess what? This is supper, tuna and coleslaw, easy. Where some other coach on our team probably had the most magnificent, grilled extravaganza, and that's amazing. Her people will love her, and my people loved the fact that I will feed my family a can of tuna, and that's that. And we have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, and that's because, that's what we do. Like, you just have to be real. The more real you are and stop like trying to be like everybody else, the more successful you'll be. Okay, I'm really trying to fill my tracker daily, and since I don't have a lot of followers yet, I don't have a lot of people engaging with me. So you spend your time getting more followers. Okay? How do you do that? You guys can't control how many people are going to follow you back, but what can you control? How many people you follow. God. I can see Kim. She's like, God, jeepers. So I think it's lovely when the tracker tells you to follow, I don't even know, what does it say? 20 people, 10 people? I don't know, but up the ante, ladies, up the ante. Every single time I sit my little tush on the toilet, I bring this with me and I follow people on Instagram and I friend people on Facebook. Still, 5 years later, making lots of money. I am not too good. I am not too good to do the tracker. I am not too good to follow and find new people. I don't pay 1 ounce of attention to who follows me back. I could care less. I pay attention to how many people I'm following. Okay, so that's something you can control. Stop worrying about the things you can't control. You can't control how many people follow you back, but I promise you, the better you get at content creation, meaning the better you get at talking to your person, you're going to have more people follow you back because they're going to see value in your page. And I'm like getting on like a whole tangent. I'm going into the next call that I have for you guys, which is going to be about content creation. But this is really about objections because I know you're all trying to get to Success Club. Okay. Justine says she's guilty. What is she guilty of? Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Exactly, Meg. Like that is always I do care less if someone says no to me. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like my daughter says no to me 50 times a day. I still like her. Like, really, it doesn't matter. And honestly, I'm going to pick on Tabitha again. Like, how many times did you say no to me? You're here. Like, she was a challenger many times. And I asked her to be a coach like friggin' a million times. And here she is. Like, you guys, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But if you sit and stew about it, and like going back to that, someone said to me today, they sent me this list of potential Success Club points. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what's going on with this list? Like, have you invited them or are you in conversations with them? No, they're just the people that I think would be great customers. Oh my God, how long have you been sitting on this list? Like, you need new people because those people probably don't want to do it right now. So you just need to always be following people. You always need to be finding new people. And it's easy. Don't get into the mindset that finding new people is hard. There's a friggin' gazillion people on the social internet everywhere. Just go follow people. Find accounts on Instagram that interest you. Go to Rachel Hollis. Go to Meg, and we were talking about this in a chat thread today. Meg, can you unmute yourself? Why don't you share your wisdom? Putting her on the spot.
Sorry, it looks like I'm sitting in the dark, but I would just go to someone's account who really resonates with me. So the example I gave was Rachel Hollis, and then go to a post that like super resonates with me or that would resonate with my niche. Look at who has commented on the post and who has liked it. Because if it's a post that speaks to your niche market and they're liking it and they're commenting or liking or whatever, then it shows that they're active on social media. So I just go through. She has like 5,000 people liking her posts. So it's super easy all the time. I just scroll through those. Or things like, I really love specialty donuts and pizza. So I'll go to a specialty donut account and look through all their photos and all their followers and all the people who comment or like, because those are probably people who I would jive with. So that's kind of my new strategy, and it's been working pretty well.
Cool. Thanks, Meg. Yeah, Nicole?
When you follow them, do you like 3 of their photos and then comment on 2? And do you know what I mean? That like 5-3-1 rule, or you just follow?
It depends how much time I have, but usually like if I'm at work and I have like 30 seconds while I'm sitting on the toilet, I'll just go through and follow. But if I like really have some time and I'm looking for quality people and I find someone who looks like she could be really cool or that I would actually want to be friends with, then I might go and like some photos that I genuinely like, but I won't just arbitrarily go in and like photos for the sake of liking, just because it's so time consuming, and it also again feels kind of like icky to me almost, because it's not genuine. Like Michelle, you said, like, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird. And then chances are like they might follow me back or they might like me, but if I'm only liking them just for kicks, then we probably won't jive long term, and it might just end up being a waste of time. That works for a lot of other people. Like I know that that's how Amy Rada built her business, for example. But it just, like what feels good for some people might not feel good for other people. So just depends what feels good, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't Like I just follow, like frenzied, follow. I mean, don't go over 50. Nobody go into jail on Instagram, but so you can only follow 50 people every half hour or every hour? Half hour? Hour? Anyone? 1 hour? Okay. So 50 people an hour. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. What was I going to say? So yeah, I don't go to their pages. Like I just do not have that kind of time. However, at some point in the day, I will go and look and see who has actually followed me back or liked something. So I'll go into that section on my profile and I'll go look at them. And if they look like someone that, you know, if I can actually find some stuff that I like, I will go make a comment or I'll like a couple things if I have time. But again, attraction marketing, like I do kind of believe in it. I believe that if you're talking to your people, they're going to follow you. They're going to like it. They're going to start watching your stories, but you can definitely go and engage with people. And you know what? The thing is, try it. Try and see. And if it didn't really work that well, then you don't have to do it again. Just give it a try. Like there's no rules in this business. Just do what feels good. Tracy, can I get some help on how to make great posts? So here's the thing about that. I can't write anyone else's posts because it's not from me. I will be doing a call like after Labor Day about storytelling and about how to, there are definitely ways to write really good content. But really, the meat of it is share what's going on with your life. One thing that I do right before I sit down to write a post, I like ask myself, what's going on right now? Like, how am I actually feeling? Like, how many times as busy women do we actually do that? Do you actually just like sit and say, all right, like what's going on right now? And that I'll write about that. The other type of post that is always really, really good is to give stuff away. Give value. Give a recipe. Give a tip. Like my top 3 tips to weekend binges, or my top 3 tips to waking up early and exercising in the morning. Like if you guys want to see some great posts, go to Justine's page, my page, Megan's page. Like you guys, like the formulas are all there. You just have to plug in your own imagination. And I'm wordy. You know, there used to be this big rule, oh, your post can't be longer than a few sentences. No one's going to read it. Well, I don't know. I'm here and I've been writing novels for 5 years. That's just the way I am. It takes me longer to write a short post than it does to write a long one. Like I'm long-winded, and you know what? My people don't mind. You know, I will the odd time throw up a quote here and they're nice and short and sweet, but most of the time, anything that really has some grit to it, that actually gets some attraction, they're long. All of my posts are long. The other thing is give yourself some time. So Saturday and Sunday mornings, for some reason, are my most creative time. It seems to be, it's probably because no one has to be up and out and it's not kind of a work day. So I will literally spend a couple hours with my computer and my notepad and I'll just write. I'll just sit with myself and be like, okay, like what do you want your people to hear this week? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to give them? So giving them value is always so key. Three tips or a recipe is always, always great. Giving your heart, like just sharing. Why are you doing this? How has it helped your life? Why are you here? Like a post right now could be, why are you sitting here? Like, why the actual fuck are you sitting here at 8:44 p.m. on a beautiful summer night on a friggin' Zoom call? Like, why? What is it doing for you? Someone's like outside at the campground or something. Like, post about that. The more real, yeah, like there's the bonfire. Like, she has better shit to do than listen to me. But really, like, why are you here? Why did you sign up? Why are you getting up every morning and working out? Why are you going to the morning workouts? Like all of it. Write points down whenever you think of it. Use your notepad. Another thing that I do, I am real, like I think of the best posts in my head. And then I get to my computer, I'm like, ugh, like nothing comes out. I don't even know my words, nothing. So I have started using my voice on my notepad. And I just talk it out. I just talk the whole thing out. And of course, it's all jumbly and doesn't have any punctuation. And I just go clean it up. We often sound like robots in our posts, right? Like we're trying to use perfect grammar. I remember like a couple years ago, someone told me that they didn't like reading when I would put like short form and stuff. I can't even think of a really good example, but I love kind of short form words. Like my grandma, who was a school teacher, would die if she saw my post. Like my grammar's awful, my spelling's terrible. I never know like there, and there, and you and your. Like I never know any of that. It's all messed up. But that's me. That's totally me. So I just use that voice note, then I just clean it up a little bit. And those are my best posts because they're like my voice. It sounds exactly like me. That's how you really want to talk to your people because it sounds like you're in a conversation instead of being like, I did my workout today. I feel strong and empowered and you should really join me. Like, no. Why did you do your workout? Why did you hate it? Why are you doing it? Like, how did it actually make you feel? Like most of the time that makes me feel like barfing, but I did it anyways because I know it's better. Like, be real. Tell your truth. That is there's two of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you for success, and it's friggin' consistency. I don't care if you don't hit your goals this month or next or the next. I promise you, if you are here a year from now, you will be hitting all your goals. The only people that aren't successful are the people that stop and start and stop and start and stop and start. I never stopped. I just kept going. It didn't matter if I was on vacation, and people will, you know, whatever they can think, whatever. But I honestly never stopped. I consistently, that doesn't mean you have to like hustle all the time. It doesn't mean like you have to like bleed Beachbody 24/7, but I always had something to give my audience every day. I showed up for my own health and fitness every day, and people saw that. And as they saw me do that, they trusted me more and more and more and more. So consistency, and then just really being you. Don't get caught up in what everyone else is doing. Stop reading everybody's posts. Stop following all the top coaches and wondering why you're not like them. You're not. You're not supposed to be. You're amazing just the way you are. And share you and your story. Just share what's going on in your life. It doesn't have to be like deep and dark and like dramatic. It can just be you and your story. And as long as you're being honest and truthful and happy when you're happy and sad when you're sad and up when you're up, people are going to get you and they're going to love it. They're going to be addicted to it. They're going to want to be around you. Do I do unfollows weekly? Well, I'm sure I do, but I have someone that does that for me. But yeah, like I don't know, someone that does it on their own. What do you say, Justine?
I haven't in a really long time. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Like I think there's probably only like 600 between my followers and my following, and I'm just like, whatever. One thing I wanted to say about the writing the post, like if I look back 4 years ago on how I wrote my posts, they probably were like, oh, I worked out today, like what you said. But you just have to keep doing it and keep writing, and you will get better. Like I look at my posts now and I'm like, wow, I could have like maybe written an essay or two in university if I went there. And it's just from like practicing, and sometimes writing a post is like my therapy. It's like my journaling, and you just kind of write what is in your head or what you're feeling, and whatever comes out comes out. So if you
Totally.
don't think you're good now, you might not be, but you just have to keep doing it and you'll get better.
Oh, my post, like if you want a good laugh, just go to Michelle Pfile business page and scroll back. I would prefer you did not waste your time doing that, but like none of us knew what we were doing. So you just like grow into this. However, if you want to be proactive, you guys, there are so many podcasts and so many YouTube videos. You just go search how to create good content, how to write amazing social media posts. I've always done that. That's how I've learned, that's how I've grown. That's how I've changed. I've gone other places to find information and like hone in on my craft. It was just like when I was a hairstylist. I didn't just take what they taught me at Marvell Beauty School and become the best hairdresser with that information. I had to go to hair shows and take hair courses and change product lines and get new scissors and get them sharpened. And like, it's the same thing. You have to do that with this as well. And luckily we have Google. Like there's so many great resources out there. Just using that search tool in your podcast app will bring up tons of podcasts that you could listen to that would help you create awesome posts. How do you create some social media posts, content creation, all that kind of stuff. That's what I've been doing. Hashtags for me, like adoption, it brings up tons. Yeah, exactly, Tabitha. Adoption's a good one. Do I suggest doing a post once a day, not stories, but actual posts? So I loosely suggest doing a post once a day. However, don't just post to post. Do you get what I mean by that? If you're just posting because you think you have to post, I would rather you not post. People are very smart online now. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of Beachbody coaches. There's a lot of people selling Arbonne and doTERRA. There's a lot of people. So we need to be really good. We need to be, when we show up, it's got to be like real, like it's got to be valuable. It's got to make an impact. So there are oftentimes I'll be like, oh my God, I got to post. I haven't posted. Well, what kind of post is going to come out in that sort of energy? Terrible. A quote like, oh, let's be a badass today, or Sunday vibes. Like that shit is, don't do it. Like it would be better just to do your stories and move on until you feel really good. That is why I have got into batch creation. So what I mean by that is like what I said, on Saturday and Sunday when I'm feeling it, I create quite a few and then I have them there. Now, lots of times, Tuesday morning will come and I'll have worked out and I'll have thought of something and I don't even use anything that is sort of in my notepad because something else will happen that'll trigger me to write about. But I always have stuff there that I can use. Does that make sense? So like, just don't throw something up there because you feel like you need to post every day, because that's not important. What's important is you're sharing something valuable to your audience. Where did I get here? Do you know if there's a way to schedule a post on Instagram? I believe that there is, but there's an app called Later, I think, that a lot of people work. The only thing, and I don't know this for sure, but I have heard that using a scheduler on Instagram will lessen the views. So that's just maybe something to experiment with, but Plan and Planoly are two that I have heard of before. Planoly app and Plan. Actually, I think I've used the Plan app before, but I don't really worry too much about like timing of when I post. Like sometimes I'll post at 10 o'clock at night and sometimes it'll be 7 in the morning. Like I don't get too hung up on timing. So as long as I have it created in my notepad, it's there. When I have a minute, I post it. Like I know for working and stuff like that, but I really do think it's better to do it like, you know, not using an app is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that is all the comments. Does anybody have actual questions that they're brave enough to unmute themselves and ask? Or did I cover everything?
I have a question.
Yeah, hi.
Hey. So I always get people within like the first 10 seconds, like, how much is it? How much is it? Do you just bypass that with like asking them a question?
Yeah. So what I always say is, oh my gosh, I would never be able to tell you how much it is. We have so many amazing programs and products. So I really need to kind of figure out exactly what you would need. And then I'll be able to tell you the price. Not lying. Truth. Like, how could I tell someone a price in the like first 2 minutes? Like, I have no idea what they need. Like maybe they want to gain weight. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's usually what I say. I always use humor too. Like that's something that's like, it's my go-to all the time. Like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could tell you. And those kind of conversations sometimes is when voice message just works so much better. Because they can hear my voice. Like, oh my God, there's no way I could tell you how much it is. We have hundreds of products. Like, no, we got to figure out what you need first. So what are you struggling with right now? And I just like zoop, go past it. And you know what? If someone doesn't like that, they're not your people. They were not going to buy anyways. And you were going to just waste like so much time. I like my energy, like people have to be into me, into my flow for them to get my time. And that's that's how you guys have to present yourself. Like, you are a coach, you know what you're doing. You may not feel like it, but you do. You have so much support to come back to. You don't have to worry about not knowing what to say, because before you have to respond, if you're not sure, you come back to your message thread and you ask, or you message me and you ask. So you don't ever have to feel uncomfortable. You always have someone that has been doing this longer that can help you. So go in with confidence. People can smell insecurity from a mile away. A mile away. And that's usually when stuff goes downhill. If you are feeling insecure about stuff, that's when it's going to go downhill. So 2 things you can do: go research the stuff. If you feel insecure about Shakeology, that's because you don't know anything about it. Go figure out what it's got. Go figure out why it's good. All that takes is watching one YouTube video and figuring out a couple things that have made a difference for you. So for me, it's 2 things. Cravings. I no longer eat 3 bags of licorice on the weekends. I might want to, but I don't actually go and do it. And my skin is clear. I had adult acne up to 5 years ago. Like, you would have thought I was 15, and it's clear. Those are 2 things I talk about all the time. So for me, those are things I talk about. Obviously, I know that Shakeology has all these nutrients, and the reason I don't have cravings anymore is because I was in a deficit prior to having Shakeology. Now Shakeology fills all of my needs in the day, so I don't have cravings. It's scientific. And usually people are like, whoa, I didn't know that. And I'm like, no, neither did I, but you should try it for 30 days and you'll feel the same as me. So I'm confident about it. And if they don't want it, that's totally fine. Like, whatever, next. But if you go in with insecurity, they will feel it. So you have to be confident in those conversations. And what I told you in the beginning, those 2 questions will make you so confident. Now you know how to handle it. Now you know When you're talking to someone, you're going to ask them about their struggles, their challenges, what's holding them back, why are they afraid? You find out at least two things. And then you go back and you just repeat exactly what they said to you. And then they'll say yes. And then you get them into dreamland. You get them thinking about where they want to be. Where are you going to be able to take them? Because you can. We know our stuff will work. We know that we can help people do this. So you take them to the place where they want to be. You repeat it back to them so they are still really in that mindset. And then you tell them, well, this is perfect because I've got exactly what you need. I know that I can help you do that. There's no doubt in my mind that I am going to help you lose. I mean, guys, I've had people that have had to lose 100 pounds. And I have gone back and said, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to help you lose 100 pounds. Of course I am. I lost 80. Why shouldn't you be able to lose 100? We're doing this together. And you know what? They do it. I'm confident in what I can do for people. And that's where you need to be. And this formula is very strategic and will make you feel confident in your conversations. Is that helpful? Cool. All right. It's going to be half an hour and it's 9 o'clock. It's way past my bedtime. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah. Go ahead, Nicole.
I hear Carl Deichler in my head, and I've been saying to people recently, I am telling you this works. And if you don't believe it, if you don't feel it within 30 days, you get your money back. How often do you say that?
Oh, I say that all the time, actually. If I do get any sort of apprehension or something like that, I'll say that. I'll be like, well, what do you have to lose? You can get your money back. Yeah, I would say something like that in a message. I wouldn't say that until I had to say that. This is a perfect example of these promo codes. Okay, if you are talking about promo codes in your posts, all right, don't. Please, don't. What does that make you sound like if you're already offering a discount on stuff? It kind of cheapens it, right? So what I've done I've used most of my promo codes, and at the end, when they've said yes, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I was given these promo codes this month, and I really want to give one to you. I am so excited about helping you. I just want to give you this little gift. I have a lady sending me a Bath and Body Works thing. She's so grateful that I gave her $10 extra off. Okay, so I am not going into a conversation, Candace, we talked about this last month and I would really like you to buy this challenge pack, and I am now going to give you not only $20 off, but $10 more. Will you please buy it for me? That is the worst energy. That lady is thinking, what is wrong with this girl? So do you get what I'm saying there? There's a certain energy about that. I love that we can give people $10 more off. That is really, really awesome. But I'm not hey everybody, I've got 3 promo codes. The first person to comment below is going to get my promo code to get $10 more off my already discounted challenge pack. We might as well be Walmart. That is salesy. Everyone comes to me. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be salesy. Well, that is salesy. The only place I would possibly talk about a promo code is in stories, because it goes away. It's quick, it's fast. But on your posts, you guys, on your posts, you don't need to be talking about that kind of stuff. On your social media is where you're sharing your story, giving value to your viewers, reeling them in, getting them to trust you. I always want you to say to yourself, hey, if I read this, what would I think? So if I read a lady that was selling doTERRA, and she had all her oils in the picture, and it talked about me being able to get like 40% off this new oil package. I would just be like, oh gosh, there's another oil lady. Like, that would not make me buy oils. But if that lady did a post about the fact that she used oils and it took away her migraine headaches, or she suffered headaches for her whole life, and all of a sudden she started using this oil, and within a couple months she noticed her headaches were getting better and she couldn't believe it, and now she feels so good. I get headaches. I'd pay attention to that. I would buy it. I don't need 40% off. Do you see the difference? So promo codes, I think, are amazing. Talk about them in your posts if you want, or in your stories if you want to, but don't be using them as clickbait. It's not going to work. Not very often. Like maybe 1 in 10, you might get lucky. But honestly, and truthfully, to go in at the beginning of a message and say, well, I've got $10 off, you can have $10 off. It just sounds desperate. Or like the 30-day money back guarantee. I will say that if there's apprehension, if I really, really feel like they want it, but there's fear, you know, there's some fear, like you can sense fear, right? And usually I'll say that. I feel like you're afraid, and I totally get that. I tried so many things. I spent money on so many things and they didn't work. Here's what I can tell you. We believe in our products so much that we actually give a 30-day bottom of the bag money back guarantee. Does that make you feel better? You can literally send this back. You can use it for a whole month and we'll give you your money back if you're not happy. So see the energy, the difference. It's really like it's almost like giving them a gift. Like, I get how you're feeling, and that's just how I'm using the promo codes. Like, I am so excited to friggin' help you. I can't wait to get you in there. I'm so glad we connected. I was given 3 special promo codes this week or this month, and I want to give you one. They feel like, wow, she like thinks I'm amazing. Like, it changes everything. Instead of that, like, desperate, like, please just say yes, I'll give you $10 extra off. That is not good energy. That makes sense? And I know, like, hey, please don't think like I've always done this right, because I've messed up a whole bunch of times, so many times, it's crazy. But learning what works and what doesn't work, if you go through the challenges, struggles, take the time to get to know people, really ask them questions, take them to where they want to be, your conversations are going to go a lot better. Okay? Uh-oh, I think I lost some. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, awesome, guys. All right. Have a good night and good luck. I can't wait to hear about your conversations. See ya.